So this is a fragrance I almost missed. I didn't hear about this fragrance coming out. There was no announcement that it was launching. A friend says there's a new fragrance Hermes has. It's called Paddock. Do you know anything about it? And I said, I know nothing about it. And I was curious to find out what it's all about. And sure enough, Hermes launched a limited edition fragrance called Paddock, which I was able to buy. And in fact, I was visiting France. It's a limited edition fragrance according to what I heard. And when I went to buy the fragrance, there was only 15 bottles left. And a friend and I both bought a bottle. It's quite pricey, around 250 euros. There is a rumor that this might be officially launched. I'm not 100% sure. But at the time of buying this fragrance called Paddock, there was only about 15 bottles left. So bought it. Actually, I smelled it at the store. I thought, yes, it smells great. It reminds me of Hermes. It's leathery. And I definitely want to have a bottle. It looked a bit kind of amateurish. The label I'll show you in a minute here once I undo this. But I was excited and I enjoyed the smell. It reminded me of leather with some nutty notes and things like that. So I'm going to open up this box for you, do a first impressions on camera for you on this new limited edition fragrance called Paddock from the Hermes house. It does say edition so Hermes 2024. So it has to do something with horse racing. I believe that's what the sales associate told me. But again, also, as I said, there's a rumor that this might be launched officially, but it's quite pricey. Does it go into the Hermescence collection? It is eau de parfum, whereas most of the collection of Hermescence fragrances are in eau de toilette, except for the latest oud fragrance that just came up. But either way, find out all about Paddock coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's Sebastian. I did a long intro there, but there's a lot of info about this fragrance. Again, I did not know this was launching until a friend told me it is. And a friend told me because a friend of his told him that there is a new fragrance called Paddock. We looked it up, no information online, nothing whatsoever. So when we were in France recently for Paris Perfume Week, we walked to the Hermes boutique and that's where they had it on display. And of course, the associate said we only have a few more left. It's a good thing you came now. We are going to sell out. And so I bought one and the friend bought one as well. Again, it is quite pricey, around 250 euros. I think it might even been a little more. I can't find my receipt, nowhere to be finding the actual cost of the bottle, so I can't look it up because it's so limited. No databases have it. Hermes website doesn't have it. So it was launched exclusively in France. This is what I heard. And of course, very limited edition. But I did get my nose on it. I enjoyed it. So let's go ahead and open this one up. Are you guys fans of Hermes? Do let me know if you can put a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on Hermes fragrances. Most likely this is done or created by Christine Nagel because she is an in-house perfumer over at Hermes. But it's an orange box, typical of the orange boxes or orange in general for the House of Hermes. It does come in this nice cloth sleeve here, kind of like the Hermescence collection of fragrances. And I do have one other bottle here. This is Ombre Narguilé. So it's kind of a similar box, as you can see this. But this is not the same kind of bottle, although the shape of the bottle is the same. But let me show you the actual bottle. Look at that. It's got a horse on it. It says Paddock. And it does have that kind of almost like childlike writing or something. It's like just scribbled on there with the kind of a horse graphic, as you can see. Of course, the cap is kind of like it belongs in the Hermescence collection. And so on the back, it says edition Saut Hermes 2024. So yeah, it has to do something with the horses. But what do you guys think of the label? Let me know your thoughts on this label. And again, let me know what your thoughts are on the House of Hermes. I do speak about Hermes quite a bit. I do enjoy Hermes fragrances. They're not like your typical other designer mass market fragrances. And H24 seems to be a really great men's fragrance. And of course, there's other fragrances out there. I prefer the unisex or the the men's fragrances from this house and a few of their Hermescence collection. Of course, Ambre Narguilé is in the bottle that I just showed you. But here we have Paddock. Let me go ahead and grab some strips to check this out and give you my honest thoughts. Again, no notes breakdown. I did smell leather when I sampled it, and of course I got some nutty notes as well from what I remember. And we walked into Hermes quite late in the day, in the evening, so it was about to close. So we were able to get the bottles and walk out. So yeah, leather for sure. There's a smoky quality about it. Slight bit animalic, but in the back, there's a gourmand touch or gourmand element about this. And that's what's giving me that kind of nutty effect. I guess now that I'm trying it again here on the strip, I'm going to put it on skin as well here in a bit. It's giving me a bit of Wajan or Ambre Narguilé vibes in there as well, which I did not get when I sampled this fragrance in store. There is that bit of kind of gourmand element around the kind of smoky, slightly animalic, kind of tart leather in the fragrance. But around it, there's a sweetness, the nuttiness, maybe a bit of amber. So very interesting inspiration for a leather fragrance inspired by, you know, horses and things like that, which Hermes does quite a bit of leather. And they do a pretty good job with some of their leather fragrances. Let's go ahead and try it on skin. I don't have anything on. Let's try it on this side too. Now, if anybody knows any information about Paddock, do let me know. Paddock. But does anybody know if this is going to make it officially into any kind of a collection, or is going to be selling all on its own? Do let me know. Put a comment down below so we can find out. But I actually really enjoyed this even more now, even more than what I enjoyed when I smelled it in store, because I wasn't getting the kind of sweet ambery, almost Ambre Narguilé like qualities surrounded with the leather that I'm getting now. But on skin, there's a bit of like wheat-like, flour-like presence. I'm talking about flour that you bake with, which I'm assuming it's that nuttiness there. And it's actually less leather on skin and a bit more gourmand, which is kind of making me happy. But I'm picking up kind of like wheat grains. You know, a box of grains, like maybe you have some kind of grains, and you open that box and you smell this kind of like, almost like wheat or kind of grain dustiness. That's here, but most likely it's from the nuttiness. And there's that kind of an element in here along with the leather. But again, on skin, the leather is not necessarily very pronounced as much as it was on the strip, which is quite strange that it's doing that. The smokiness is also gone, but it's going through some stuff. It's almost like hay, you know, like a barn, horses and hay and, you know, cows and things like that. It's giving me that kind of like dusty effect that the hay creates when you're dealing with the hay or you're walking on it, especially with a horse on it, and it's creating some dust. Because I'm getting that kind of flour vibe, like the flour for baking, but more in a pre-processed, more of the wheat itself rather than the flour. It's got that kind of an interesting smell. But I like it. I like it more than what I smelled back in the store, but I kind of wanted a little more leather. I didn't realize on skin it was going to go more gourmand and not very much pronounced with the leather. That's quite interesting. So I feel like the leather is way behind there, and it's hidden with the kind of sweet stuff. But last whiff I got, it did give me a bit of sweaty, kind of light animalic characteristic as well, which kind of is developing on my skin, going from the blast of leather at first, developing into something sweet and gourmand, then the flour or wheat kind of thing, grains and nuts, And of course, now it's getting a bit sweaty, and the leather, I guess the sweaty qualities of the leather are kind of popping through. So that's what I have for you with Paddock. What do you guys think of this fragrance? Completely unannounced launch, limited edition. And again, this is the information I was told by the sales associate who sold this. I hope she wasn't pulling my leg and my friend's leg because she was going to try and make a sale. She did say there was only 15 left. So those of you that are in France, can you let us know if this is still selling? I went to the Rue Saint Honoré boutique, Hermes boutique. That's where I bought it from while I was there about 2 weeks ago. So let me know. Put a comment down below if you guys have any further information about this. I'm enjoying this one quite a bit. It does and doesn't kind of fit in the Hermes, catalog of fragrances up until the last, what's the Jardin Eau de Cythère, I think is what it's called, the kind of nutty pistachio fragrance. Up until then, and up until that fragrance, there hasn't been a lot of gourmand fragrances, if any, in the Hermes catalog. And I feel like this kind of goes gourmand, and of course that did as well. So maybe they're trying to appeal to more masses lately with their fragrances. I don't know. But with a very limited edition fragrance like this, I'm not sure how much they're trying to appeal to the masses. But I'm happy with this one for sure. I'm not happy with the price tag, and I'm not happy with its exclusivity, which is the two disappointing parts about this. But as a smell, I'm enjoying it. Right now on my skin, it's almost kind of like done its development. It's not going through a lot more. And we've got a, kind of like a scent that's settled. And it's giving me the leather, a bit sweaty, animalic, lots of grains and wheat and flour and nuts together with some sweetness and ambery touches, all surrounding everything together to one blended fragrance. I like it. I don't really love it, but I like what I'm smelling and I'm enjoying it. And as a collector, I'm happy to have it. Again, as I said, the price tag is really, really high for this fragrance. I don't know if it's going to go into Hermes's collection. Maybe it will. Maybe they'll change the label, but this particular bottle will be a collector's item, and maybe they'll move this into a Hermes's collection bottle, which will perhaps look like one of the other Hermes's collection bottles, like this one here. It's Ombre Narguilé. Anyway, if you have more information about this fragrance, do let me know. Put a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on how this fragrance smells. Are you curious to get your nose on it if you can? And again, if you have any extra information on Paddock, do let me know. Put a comment down below so we can find out what's going on with it, because this was a complete mystery, as I said. If a friend didn't come to me and tell me it was launching, I would never have known about. And of course, if that friend of a friend didn't tell my friend that Paddock was launching, we would never have known about it. But either way, thanks so much for watching today's video on Hermes's Paddock fragrance. Again, if you're in France, let us know if it's selling anymore or if it's completely out, and if you have info, if it's going to go into any collection by Hermes. We'd love to find out. So put a comment down below. But either way, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video on Paddock by Hermes. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye. Okay, now that the fragrance has been on skin for a few hours, I wanted to report back on what I'm getting from Hermes's Paddock. So it does become a leather further when you wear it. It goes through a journey for me. It started with leather, but then I got that kind of gourmand thing happening, a bit of a reminder of Wajan Ombre Narguilé. But that did disappear. Then what I was left with is this nuttiness that's giving me, or tricking my nose to smell like wheat before it becomes flour, or a box or container of some kind of grains, perhaps lentils or something. You know that smell that's in there when you open it up? There's a kind of a dustiness about it. It's the kind of experience I'm having with this surrounded with the leather. But further on, while I was wearing this, it became a lot more leathery. And then also that sweatiness lingered. The sweatiness is not necessarily overwhelming. It's not really strong, but you will notice it. And I feel like it's the leather that's creating this kind of sweaty, kind of funky animalicness against what I consider some gourmand things happening with this fragrance. Again, it's not an uber gourmand, but then I'm reminded of some gourmand elements with it. So it's an interesting fragrance, enjoyable. Not a wow fragrance for me, but I think it's definitely going to find fans for sure. And I'll smell it once again here. Yeah, there's a bit of sweetness surrounding the leather and that kind of nutty grain wheat thing happening there. And it does have a faint reminder of something like Ambre Narguilé now. Not as much as when I first sprayed it. But it's got that sweaty leather there. The leather is quite strong. It's animalic for sure. And to me, it smells like horse stables, basically. A sweaty, leathery horse stables experience with this fragrance, which I think they've captured the smell perfectly. Anyway, that's Paddock for you. And if you've tried it, if you've gotten your nose on it, do put a comment down below to let me know what your thoughts are on this as well.